Hello, Malvern. Last week during spring break, Father Drennan and I received an email from a student in our freshman theology class. His message was brief and touching. He said, "Hey, fathers, miss having class with you guys. Just checking in on how you're doing." That email not only made my day, it also says what I want to say to you now. You are missed, and I'm checking in to see how you're doing. Some may question, what is the meaning and purpose of this dark hour, this plague of biblical proportion? Where is the loving God about whom we speak so freely? I go back to a core belief I learned as a child, that if God allowed Jesus to suffer as he did, then there is something in suffering and loss that teaches, informs, and molds us for our own progress in life and for the betterment of humanity. St. Augustine believed that the true goal and primary project of a person's life is to find oneself. In this journey with each other, a person encounters his Creator, the God who loved him into being, and abides with him through the darkness, sadness, loss, and uncertainty to a life of knowing, a life of love, and a life of friendship. Perhaps the gift, if I can use that word this Lent, is for us to remain still and keep ourselves present to God in an attitude of loving receptivity. Out of our solitude and withdrawal from what we miss most, we can come to the vision of how our lives might change. Out of our openness comes a willingness to conform to what God's Spirit prompts us to become. Let us remember that St. Augustine, our spiritual patron, believed that if you want to change yourself in the world, respond to the next person you meet in need. At this time, that person may be you, and it is certainly me. The move to a successful virtual learning and working environment has been a Herculean effort, one that would not have been possible without key members of our community. To our faculty, I want to extend my sincerest appreciation to these women and men who have so quickly and creatively moved to an academic environment unlike anything they have ever experienced before. I am so grateful for the countless hours and dedication they gave for the education of our young friars. To our staff, who continue with keeping the other side of the house running so well. I'm thankful for the competency, attention to detail, care for our students, and professionalism. And as always, our maintenance and security teams who have gone over and above the call of duty to maintain our beautiful campus and assure its safety. To our students, the very reason we exist. While we have tried to keep a remote learning schedule as close as possible to your on-campus schedule, I know that there's nothing like being on campus and learning together with your friar brothers. As I speak to you today, I'm reminded of the joy, the banter, and laughter that typically fills our halls, rooms, and outdoor spaces. The silence here is almost deafening. Simply put, our campus was not made for this kind of quiet. But you have risen to the challenge that our current situation presents, and I know you will continue to give that challenge your very best effort. To our parents and guardians, your support of our faculty and of your sons has made all the difference. Thank you for working with us, for your patience, confidence, and for your collaboration as we continue to deliver what I believe is an outstanding academic experience, as well as the important spiritual dimension of an Augustinian education. To the Board of Trustees, thank you for your counsel, collegial spirit, and wisdom you offer the leadership team and myself during this perplexing time. Your accessibility has been outstanding. And now to the class of 2020. No one could ever have imagined the final semester of your senior year at Malvern would look like this. I'm saddened that your class has missed time on campus together. I know that your text, calls, and other platforms of communication have drawn you closer together as the brothers you are to one another. While things may change for the better in the near future, the reality is that as the days pass, the possibility of finishing the academic year on campus is remote and unlikely. When that decision is final, you will know it as soon as possible. If we do not finish classes on campus, it will have important implications for everyone, particularly our seniors. What I do know is that when we get through this adversity, and we will, the Malvern community will celebrate you, the class of 2020, your accomplishments, your friendships, and all you have given to Malvern these past years. The traditions we celebrate may look a little different than in years past, but they will be no less meaningful. I am confident that once we are on the other side of this crisis, we will be able to invite you and your families back to campus for several days to celebrate traditional events like the Senior Mother-Son Mass and Dinner, the Senior Tribute, Prom, the Baccalaureate Mass, and graduation ceremonies. Is this possible? Yes. And as my mother used to say frequently, with the help of God. I also want to speak to our current 8th graders and say, we will have your advancement ceremony. We're not sure when, but that important rite of passage for you from middle school to upper school will be celebrated with great joy. Finally, to our alumni and friends near and far, you are an integral part of the Malvern community, stretching out to the 4 corners of the globe. The love and affection for the values and knowledge you gained and the friendships you cherish began here. Your alma mater is as strong and resilient as it has ever been. Now more than ever, we are mindful of one another. We pray for one another. We reach out to one another, and we know that when this crisis passes and we look back on it, we will say that was our finest hour, and our core Augustinian values of truth, unity, and love served us well. Join me in praying daily for those infected and affected by COVID-19 and those men and women who so bravely care for them. God bless you, your families, and God bless our beloved Malvern. Stay well.